So there's a study by Cora, and it suggests that 88% of consumers will avoid companies because they read a bad review on social media. How do we create a memorable experience and avoid these bad reviews? You do it by not doing what I used to do. I used to spend thousands of dollars on luxury makeup products because I thought that was going to make me a luxury makeup artist. Spoiler alert, it did not. And instead of giving my brides the luxury experience, making them feel like they were the most important person in the room, I would always show up like completely unprepared and always racing against the clock because I had somewhere else to be afterward. I would not take any notes when we did a bridal trial, thinking that I would perfectly be fine to remember it later on. And I was not perfectly fine to remember later on because months later, when I would show up at the bride's store, I would have no idea who she was. So like this bride who was so excited to work with me, who trusted me to be there on like the most important day of her life, would open the door and be like, "Oh my God, come on in. I'm so happy to see you." And I would be standing there like, fuck, who is this girl? Maya Angelou said that people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I cannot believe that's how I was making people feel. How can you call yourself a makeup artist when you leave your clients feeling so rushed and forgotten and so insignificant? It really wasn't until I got organized and I was able to get rid of all this overwhelm that comes with running a business that I was able to focus on really creating a personalized client experience for each and every single one of my brides. In the world of bridal makeup, knowing what not to do is just as important as being a great artist. So today I'm sharing 5 mistakes that can really hinder your growth to growing your clientele. And if you are guilty of number 4, it can leave you with some pretty damn bad reviews. If you're new here, I'm Neelam. I went from working 9 to 5 in jobs I absolutely hated while I was hustling beauty clients on the side to being an award-winning luxury bridal makeup artist, lash artist, podcast host who's traveled the world and designed a life I love. Communication, it's so important. If you scroll through like an artist Google page and you see a lot of the bad reviews could have been prevented, but there was either miscommunication or there was like a total lack of communication. What does this look like? This can be like on the day of, you're not understanding what the client is saying and you're pushing your views and your opinions because you think it's right. It can also be that you didn't have a contract laid out from the very beginning. So now when the client is asking for a change and you're giving pushback, you're the one that looks bad. When you don't have clear policies in place and communicate those policies to your client via a contract, your client doesn't know what to expect. How are they going to know what's acceptable and what's flat out disrespectful if you haven't told them? When a client reaches out for a quote, they understand right from the get-go, their dates are not held without a signed contract and a retainer in place. It is at the bottom of all of my emails, even if they book a trial. When they reach out, they also get an automated email via Honeybook that says like they'll get a response in the next 48 hours, but not on a weekend because likely I'm on location with the bride. This way, they're not mad when they don't hear back from me an hour later because they know when they can expect a response. Same thing goes for on location prep. I used to get so mad when a client would show up with like a full face of makeup or wet hair and then my stylist would need to blow dry it out. It adds to the service time, and if I tried to charge them, they would just be like, "Okay, well, give me the blow dryer, I'll go do it myself." Now in my contract, all of this is laid out. How we want the area to be prepped, what we need to set up, where we will set up, where we won't set up, like there's no more bathrooms, how we want clients to prep their skin, what happens if you have wet hair. And then I also, other than my contract, because like maybe they just skimmed through it, I also send out another prep guide after the contract is signed. And the same prep guide goes out a month before the wedding so that the bride can share it with her entire bridal party so that there is no surprises. And it doesn't take me any extra time because everything's automated inside of Honeybook. You hear me talking about Honeybook and Tave a lot because I think they're awesome programs. I just switched over from Tave to Honeybook because of the ease of use and like the visualization. I just like everything to be pretty, neat, and organized. And I feel like Honeybook gives that to me. If you want to try it for yourself, you can get an extended trial plus 50% off your first year with the link in the description below. So like what you need from your clients in order to do your job, you can't make it up as you go. Like this needs to be laid out from the very beginning so that everybody is on the exact same page. Another cause for bad reviews can be not giving them what they expected, or if you're inconsistent. So if your work is amazing online because it's fully edited and they're expecting the same result in person, but you can't deliver, you're not giving them what they were hoping, and they're going to be disappointed because they're going to feel like either A, they were deceived, or B, that they're ugly. They're going to feel like maybe they weren't as pretty as your other clients, which is why you couldn't make them look like your Instagram feed clients. But in actuality, your Instagram clients aren't even real because there is a ton of heavy editing going on. Or if you did an amazing job of the trial and your bride was like in love with the look, and now on the wedding date, you don't remember what you did, you don't have pictures from the trial, or you have pictures from the trial, but you don't remember exactly how to do the look, or your bride emailed you feedback after the trial and you don't remember any of it. Or maybe you're working for another team and there was just like a disconnect. I used to show up at a bride's house with no idea who it was. It would just say bride in my calendar, or it would say like company name / bride in my calendar. And like I said, like she'd be so excited when she opened the door to see us, and she would give us the warmest hug, and I'd be standing there like, oh shit, like who is this girl? Like I could not remember, even though I did already meet her and I had already done her trial, but it was like a year ago. And this is the time period where I was really hustling. So I had seen so many faces since then. So make sure you're taking notes after every single trial. You want to write down exactly what you did. I do this inside my Total Beauty Planner because it makes it so easy for me to like just go in on the day of and find everything I need. I make sure I document all of the products that I use, the shades, the technique or style that I was going for. All of my bride's inspo photos are in there, the before and after photos that we took at the trial. And then you also want to make sure to write any feedback she had at the end of the look, and especially if she emails you later on with changes. I will even include things like her fiance's name in there so I can use it in conversation, or if he's at the house on the wedding day, I can greet him by name, or her dog's names. I'll also include like her favorite drink if it came up in conversation, her favorite Spotify station, which is on my questionnaire, literally all of the little details. Like I have ADHD, so I am not going to remember them by heart, no matter how genuine my intentions are. But when I have it here in my app, like I can just open it when I'm on the driveway before I go inside, and it just really helps me refresh my memory. That way you can show up on the wedding day and you have everything you need right there. She's not just another client on your calendar, and you can really be present. You can grab her favorite coffee on the way in and then knock out the bridal look 1,000 times, 10,000, 1,000,000 times better than you did on the trial day. That's how you create the most memorable experience for your bride. If you want to try the Total Beauty Planner, which I highly recommend that you do, you can download it and get an extended 30-day trial instead of the normal 14 days by using the code YouTube. And if you already know, yes, I need it, this is going to change my life and it's going to help me show up better for my clients, then you can click on the link and get your first year at 50% off. Now that you learned how to avoid bad reviews, dive into this video where I share the top 3 things I do to give my bridal makeup clients the very best experience.